Hello guys, how are you all? Like today I'm going to present my project on sentiment analysis of customer reviews using our deep learning model, which is BERT, bidirectional encoder representation from transformers. Well, I'm going to explain the transformers like later on. I will give you a hint right now. The transformers are basically used in deep learning. Like they basically process the sequential data like any text or speech, but BERT, it is a bidirectional model, basically the advanced form of transformers which can process the data from both directions, from left to right and right to left, sequentially as well, like from both directions at the same time. Well, today the goal of my project is to classify the customer reviews into three categories. Like it, it can either be a positive review, negative, or neutral. Well, I have done all of my project here. I am just going to explain like I have used like how my model is working and going to give you the graphical user interface in the form of a website. Like this is the website. Here I'm going to input the view, and in the backend like all of my model which I have trained over here using my dataset, and it will give me the view like whether it is a negative, positive, or neutral, same like this as you can see over here. Well, go back to our Google Colab. Here I have used a Google Colab. It is a very user friendly platform. Well, first of all, I have imported all the different libraries which I'm going to use over here. Maybe most of you have very well know about all those libraries like transformer, datasets, pandas, matplotlib, cpop, scikit-learn. Sorry for that. Well, here are the main libraries like pandas, cbon, torch, sklearn, transformers, and everything. Well, like whenever we are going to train our model, our first step is to pre-process our data. Here I have I am using the dataset, imported the dataset from my Google Drive. Like here you can see I have mounted the drive over here, like over here. Oh, sorry for that. Like over here you can see like from drive, my drive, and customer reviews.csv. My data set is in the CSV file, and here I'm going to read it by using the pd.read CSV. Pd means like here I've imported the pandas from the pandas library using the pandas library as pd like shortcut of, and here I'm using the function read CSV. Here I have printed the first 5 rows of my dataset. My dataset is looking like this: customer ID, review, date, label, location, and source. First, I'm going to pre-process my data, like it includes removing all the missing values, then handling the outliers, like removing all the views which are like too short or like too long. Then going to normalize it, and finally encode it so that it will be easy to understand and easy to process as well. Like for all the negative reviews, it will be encoded as 0, for neutral 1, and for positive 2. And then I have visualized it. Like as you can see, the distribution of all the sentiments, like negative, 0 for negative, 1 for neutral, and 2 for positive. The neutrals are much more than the positive, and then the negatives. Well, here like you can see bidirectional encoder representation from transformer. It is an advanced form of transformer. The transformer basically can process the sequential data, like it can be text or anything like this, where here you can see that transformers are a type of deep learning neural network, and their major innovation is self-attention mechanism, which allows them to weigh the importance of different parts of the input sequence when processing. Like they can recognize the importance of the word. Like in our reviews, it can be like it like I'm very much satisfied with the product. I'm very satisfied, like it's very cheap, like the word cheap according to the context, and in this way they can recognize the importance of the word in the context. So it's really important. But the BERT, it is the advanced form, like it is bi-directional encoder. It can encode data from left to right and from right to left as well, not like transformer which can only pre-process the data sequentially, like from one, like left to right over here, then this, then this, then this, then this. Well, that was our model. Well, now we are in BERT. The tokens are very important for to give the input to our model. They can process in the form of tokens. Here I'm using the BERT tokenizer to tokenize the review text. But BERT requires input in specific format in the form of tokens, which I have told you earlier, and so on. Well, after tokenization, I converted the pandas data frame into Hugging Face. Here you can see I can transform it into Hugging Face. For this, I use the map function to apply tokenization across the entire dataset. Across the map function to apply it across the entire dataset. And then I have split like train and test function to split my data into for that. Some of them will be used for the training purpose and the 20% will be used for the testing. Well, here comes the model setup and training. This is the very important step. Here I've used the BERT based on cased model from Hugging Face. I added the classification head on top with 3 output units, like one for each sentiment class. Like one for each sentiment class. And here I'm calling like those are the required arguments. You can see them, like all of these. I'm not going to explain each of these, but you can see here I have trained my model, and then I'm in the BERT tokenizer and everything, and then I have saved my model like as sentiment model, like as sentiment model as well, like so that when a model will be trained, it will be saved, and which I can use them later on while building the website. I have evaluated, like I have provided the classification report as well, and from here you can see that the recall and the FN score is 1, like which means it is 100%. Basically my dataset consists of 1000 entries, so maybe I will use more dataset like in the future, but for the Kosan dataset it's working really well. And then I have plotted the confusion matrix as well to visually evaluate like whether the model performs well or make any errors, and but you can see it is performing really well. In the next step I'm going to use the Flask ng rock. So like maybe some of you are not concerned with the ng rock. Ng rock is basically an online server where we can deploy our websites. Before making them online, we can deploy them in our local server so that we can see them whether they are working properly or not, and I have done the same thing as well. Okay. Here I am using the same Flask and ng-rock library, so that and here is my HTML template which I have used to develop this output. All of it I have made a very simple one because I just have to show like whether it is working properly or not. Like it's pretty good. And then finally and then finally I have initiated my app by using the run function on my port 5000. And then when I click this link, right now it's not working. I mean, it's working, but right now if I click on this one, it will take me to this website, and here I'm showing you the live demo. Like if I write I'm sad and product, it is the same one. Like it will say like negative, like I'm very satisfied. It's a positive review, and then it's like it's cool but not according to my not according to my preference. Let's see, it's a neutral. So overall it's working fine. So here was my project, like sentiment analysis of customers. We can use it everywhere, like anywhere in this digital world. You know that we need to read the reviews, and we can use this model to review, to get an idea of whether the most of the customers are satisfied, like they are giving the positive review, negative review, or it's just neutral, so that the businessman can improve their product and make it more better according to the customer preference. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much.